Hey, Sean Hayes here with Varonis, and wanted to share with you a bit of news from the Varonis Threat Labs team, which is Varonis's dedicated research team that continuously analyzes real-world data security threats, and they recently uncovered the Reprompt vulnerability, which involves probing how attackers can exploit AI systems, identities, and data pathways. Their latest finding, Reprompt, has been confirmed by Microsoft and is now patched, so fear not, for now. Let's talk, however, about how we got here and what the Threat Labs team found, as this type of attack flow may return in other AI applications or form factors. Reprompt is fundamentally different from AI vulnerabilities such as maybe Echo Leak that you've heard of, in that it requires no user input prompts, installed plugins, or enabled connectors. It all starts with a link. And in this particular case, it's a link with parameters. And you might be asking yourself, what's a parameter? Well, my answer to you would be tacos. If I were to go to Taco Bell, let's say, and order a cheesy gordita crunch and ask to add pico, maybe add 2 fire sauce packets, my request would be the parameters. Then when I arrive at the window and they hand me the bag, I expect that what I ordered to be reflected in the back. When a user enters a URL or clicks on a link, the browser sends a request to the server hosting the web page to give it the information and to render that web page like my taco order. But in the case of parameters in the URL, these can be things like sorting items on an e-commerce site to only maybe show skateboards of a certain size or shoes of a certain size. Also, if I were to try to share maybe a cool new cybersecurity blog and wanted to link you to it, and specifically bring you to a spot on that blog, I can do that with parameters. Back to Reprompt. Prior to the latest patching, you could actually create and share a Copilot link with similar parameters. Like this example where I want to prompt Copilot, what's your favorite taco order? This doesn't work now. However, the walkthrough shows exactly how Varonis Threat Labs was able to use this type of link to launch the attack chain. For starters, it's important to understand that Copilot has default memory settings that can be managed. And in this case, Threat Labs baked in a secret phrase by manually adding it to the memory. Remember that for later. Then there's the link. In this case, we're showing the delivery mechanism to be an email, in this case, Gmail. But this could be any communication or collaboration channel. Once the user clicks on the link with those parameters, or the attacker's hidden taco order, to use my analogy, the instructions lead Copilot to execute on a prompt with a series of requests. Eventually, Copilot begins to follow instructions to deliver select information to the attacker server. From the user's viewpoint, the Copilot session looks like some strange puzzle. Regardless if the user is technically savvy or suspicious enough to report this to the IT or the security team, the attacker chain requires nothing more of the user. At this point, the attacker's tacos are being delivered, and your data and information is being siphoned off behind the scenes. We see now what is called a chain request in action, where as soon as Copilot finds one piece of information, it's being instructed to go grab another piece. You can see one set of instructions in the chain. This is stage 1. Now stage 2 grabs the user's location. Stage 3 then grabs the last conversation. Stage 4 gives any details about the user, likely for maybe a spear phishing attempt later. And then stage 5 is the chain wrapping things up. But this could continue executing for dozens of stages, depending on the level of effort the attacker wants to put in and how much information they want. The scary part about Reprompt is that the user wouldn't see any of the stages in the chain, since all commands are delivered from the server after the initial prompt. You can't determine what data is being exfiltrated just by inspecting the starting prompt. The real instructions are hidden in the server's follow-up request. Client-side monitoring tools won't catch these malicious prompts either, because the real data leaking is happening dynamically during the back and forth communication, not from anything obvious to the prompt and to the user who submits it. Looking to the future though, it'll be interesting to see how link-based or single-click vulnerabilities crop up. Like I said earlier, where you can't use queue parameters to launch Copilot, there still remains functionality to share Copilot links that many users will assume is safe if it's coming from what seems to be a trusted source. I can create a prompt like this to share with others that launches a Copilot session for you asking Copilot, what's its favorite taco order? Reprompt still shouldn't work, but it remains to be seen how attackers can even exploit this functionality. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed this video, or at least left with a little bit of an appetite. Stay safe out there, spread some love, and eat more tacos.